And we're going live. Hey friends and family, this is Jessica here. I just wanted to say a quick video to recap kind of what I've done the past couple months of life. Really just like to recap the Camino De Santiago and yeah, just my journeys, not just for myself, as like a kind of time capsule to just remember the little details, but also for friends and family back home. Yeah, family in New York and friends in North Carolina and Georgia. I just wanted to like say, I've had like just so many questions of like, how do you do it? What is it like? All the questions. And I just want to kind of debrief it all in one video. So I have a bunch of notes. I'm going to try to stay on topic. Yeah, just because I've had so many questions and I love sharing, but it's just like kind of like a one all be all for now. So if you have any other questions, I would love to answer them and share. I'm also filming this at a summer camp, so literally anytime someone could walk up. Love my life. How far did I hike? I hiked over 700 miles total. That's crazy. So that's over 1,180 kilometers. So I started in Lourdes, France, and then I hiked to Finisterre, Spain, so that's the sea. So it was an extra 7 days before the French Camino. So that was on the GR 78 from Lourdes to Saint Jean, and then I just hopped on that and followed with the rest of the pilgrims. Yeah, so that was really fun. I started there. I did it in 44 days with one rest day. I wish I would have taken more rest days, but I didn't. But it was also good for me because I couldn't sit still for a long time. So it was kind of like just a good pace, and I was with other friends. Yeah, it worked out for me. I had one rest day in Santiago, and then so I was gone for around 60 days total. So 44 of it was just walking, and then the other 16 was travel time. I also went to Vigo, Spain. I went to Portugal. I went to Madrid for a couple days. So just kind of like a mix of it all. And now it's really sunny. Where did I stay? I did not camp and backpack the whole time. I didn't at all, actually. I was super lightweight with my pack weighing around 16 pounds or 8.5 kilograms. That's without food or water. With food and water, it was closer to 20 pounds, which I wish I would have gotten it lighter. I wish. But I don't know how I would have done that. So that's tricky because I really did use everything in my pack. The only thing well, I'm going to get to that in a second. Where did I stay? I stayed in albergues. So those are just like huge, pretty much hostels for anyone that's doing the Camino. So those are between 8 and 12 euros a night, and it's between 20 and 40 people per room, just in bunk beds. Literally, it's just like bunk beds everywhere, like showers and toilets, and sometimes you'll have a kitchen so you can cook food. So I did that with some people I met. We would go to the little grocery store in town, and yeah, just get some groceries to cook food because it's a lot cheaper. So you can do, I'm already going off topic, but you can do the menu of the day, menu del dia, and that's usually around 12 euros. So you can go into town and eat at a restaurant, menu of the day. So you'll get like bread, beer, wine, first course, second course, dessert. It's usually pretty good sizes. I usually got like a salad and then fish, and that worked out really well for me, and then dessert and wine, so I'm not gonna complain. Did my legs hurt? My legs don't hurt anymore. They really got used to it. So the first 3 days I did not want to move when I got to the albergue. I would just lay there and I didn't even want to. Yeah, those first days were tough, but after that your legs really do get used to it. Yeah, I did have some blisters, but you treat them and you keep walking. It's part of life. And really, everyone will get blisters. It's just a matter of like how bad and yeah, how you treat them, and you just keep walking and take your time. Did I use everything? I did use everything that I brought, like clothes-wise. I brought pretty much like 2 hiking outfits and a lounge outfit and a dress. And I really did use like all of that. When I got towards the end in October, I knew it was going to get colder, so I bought a sweatshirt and these pants actually, which are super fun. They're super lightweight. I got them at a thrift store for like $7. These were a really good snag. Just because after I was exploring and I didn't want to be in like leggings or my shorts that I've just walked the whole Camino with. So that was really nice to be able to switch into something more comfortable. I wish I didn't pack duplicates, so I did pack duplicates of like hand sanitizer, wet wipes, chapstick. You can literally buy all of it there. There are pharmacies everywhere. You can literally get it all there. The best food in Spain, I would say, would be lentil soup. I had a lot of that during the beginning at some of the hostels and albergues. It was so good, just because I tried to eat vegetarian. I was more pescatarian this trip. But yeah, lentil soup was so good. My all-time favorite meal would be beet hummus. So good. This sweet woman at Casa Susie, she had like her whole vegetable garden. And yeah, it was just, she like had grown all the stuff and it was all from her garden. So I had beet hummus and like a chickpea salad and organic wine, and she was just really cool. She was epic. My favorite albergue was also Casa Susie. It was a little more than halfway. I don't remember which town it was, but she rocks. They're on Facebook. Check them out. Plug. My favorite place to eat was Burgos, Spain. I'll try to post a picture. It was so good. Me and some friends, we went out in Burgos and just had tapas for lunch, and it was so good. It was really good. It was just all the things. My craziest, people have asked like, what's your craziest interaction? With animals. I almost it was just a crazy thing. It was literally like my first couple days on the Pyrenees section before Saint Jean, and I was walking by myself. It was, so between the Pyrenees and Saint Jean, it was literally a group of 5 of us. Like really not many people at all do that portion at all. So I had known like a person left in front of me and the rest of the people were behind me. So I was literally walking by myself for like several hours, which yeah, was cool and fun. But at one point you literally walk through like, pastures of literally, you have to like open a gate and you like walk through and it's like sheep and cattle and horses. Like it's literally, you're like walking through a pasture. And at one point, like I just got used to it, and at one point there was literally a whole group of sheep in front of me, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. You literally see the path is that way. There are fences on both sides, you have to go that way. So that was just sheep, and they had big horns, and I literally stood there for like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't know what I do. That was really funny. And then one time I was just walking and I saw there were horses over there and I didn't see there was a fence in between us, so I like stood there for a second, and then I started walking, and then I hear like something running towards me, and it's like a horse. It's like a young male horse running towards me, and I like run behind the bush, and then there's barbed wire and bushes and dead, and he stood at me and I stood at him, and I looked and I was like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. And then he backed off, and then this sweet Holland couple came and walked with me, and they were so great. So same craziest interaction with animals. With people, I'm just going to read this straight off the sheet, and it's going to be that. With people, another pilgrim next to my bed came back to the albergue at 1 a.m. feeling a little too good and got kicked out. That was a crazy interaction. The end. Was it emotional for me? It was emotional for me during the first week or two, and then again at the end. Just because the first week or two I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Literally me as a 22-year-old being able to like hike the Camino solo from America. Like it's just like a huge like, holy crap, I'm doing this. And then again at the end of like, wow, like this is crazy that I've just done all this. It was just very surreal to be able to journey with all of like the people that I've met, and just to hear their like life story, just like really a glimpse of their life story, just because you can talk to a person for an hour or two, but it's like you can only like get so much, and it's just like really truly a gift to be able to walk with all of them and just to laugh and goof off has been like so good for my soul. And yeah, it was really fun. So yeah, it was just very emotional. Also, when I got to Santiago, I was just like so grateful for the people that have supported me back home and who encouraged me to do this. It was just like, this is it. It's crazy. And then also again when I got to the sea, just like a big milestones of like, wow, I did this. And yeah, it was just a huge accomplishment. Were there times I felt lonely? I would say like towards the beginning a little bit when I was in Paris, just because I literally knew no one and I was just exploring by myself. And then like again in some of the bigger cities when I was off the Camino, but also I like made friends because the Camino has forced me to be outgoing. What was the most important thing I like learned about myself? This is funny because I already wrote these answers because I knew I was going to be all over the place. I said I have big time FOMO for the people back home. Also, that living the gospel call looks a lot different than we imagine it to look like. Whoa. I definitely have FOMO because there's so many times where I was just so thankful for the summer that I had and the girls that I was with in NCS cabin, non-cabin staff. At camp this past summer. I was just so thankful for them, and just like, yeah, just like the fun goonery of camp. So yeah, I definitely had FOMO of like, what are people doing back home? Even though this is really epic of what I'm doing, I want to know what's going on back home. And yeah, living the gospel call looks a lot different. I think I just realized that it's just really important to love the person in front of you. I just cut myself. To love the person in front of you, that's literally what, was crazy, because it's like I could like go to church and do all these things, but a lot of the people that were on the Camino weren't doing it for religious reasons, which was totally chill. But it just like made me, it kind of like switched to different, like, okay, I'm not gonna like preach religion to them all the time, and I'm gonna stand up for, like, one time I had like a really cool talk about like abortion, and yeah, me and a friend had like disagreed of like what we believe on that, but it was really cool because I was like still friends with her for the next like several weeks, and it wasn't really much about like preaching to them or at them. It was really just like loving them where they are, which was just like such a gift. And to be able to be like, okay, like I could go to church and go to mass, or I can go to the bar and just like love you there. That was like a crazy God moment I had as well, of like, okay, like I walked into the church and I was just like praying there and just like taking in the beauty of it all, because all the churches there are so stunning. And I was about to walk out and I realized there was about to be a pilgrim blessing. I was like, okay, that's really cool. But I told my friend that I was going to meet her to have like a glass of wine. And there's just like a lot of guilt for me to be like, oh my gosh, like everyone thinks that I'm going to be such a sinner for walking out on this. And it was just kind of like a crazy like Jesus moment of like, wow, like Jesus, it's not really about like the judgment of it all, or like or what people think. It's really about like your relationship with Jesus, and about loving people where they're at, because Jesus like drank with the sinners and he like just still loved them. That was just like a crazy moment. The biggest obstacle of my whole trip, I was gone for a long time. There was a lot, but I wrote this out really well, and I'm just going to read it straight off instead of just rambling. My biggest obstacle of this trip was my itinerary. I've heard from so many people the recommendations and things I had to do. I personally wanted to plan out every minute and wanted to be productive and do all the things, but I couldn't. I didn't. I was exhausted by the time I had finished walking every day. I overcame this by listening to a Belgian man say, "Take care of yourself." That changed my whole perspective. This trip was good for my physical health by staying active. The Camino was so very good for my mental health. I didn't have to plan. Hell, I couldn't really plan, and that's what saved me. I lived each day as it came. Didn't worry about next week because I didn't have to. It's been so good for me. Yeah. It was just really good to be able to be like, I noticed myself in the bigger cities of like, oh, I want to go to a coffee shop, I'm going to go do that. If I want to go have a sangria, I'm going to do that. If I want to go to a thrift shop or a bookshop, I'm going to do that. Just because, yeah, this trip I didn't have to plan, and just American society is always telling you, like, what's next, you need to be ahead of the game and all these things. But for a second I just like took a step back and was like, this isn't why I'm here. I'm not here to check off things. I'm here to just soak it all in. And it was just like so good to be able to be like, okay, literally each day all I had to worry about was what I was eating and where I was sleeping. It was just a very simple life. Yeah, it was really good for me at this season of life, to be able to just take a step back and be like, the busyness of life will go on, but right now I need to take care of myself and just slow down for a second. So it was crazy and really hard, but good. A question: what am I thankful in life? For opportunities like this to pursue my passions, and for people back home that support me through it, which is crazy. Because if you would have told me 6 months ago that I would be walking the Camino, I would have laughed. And said there's no way I'm going to Europe by myself, and I need to get a job and all these things. I'm just very grateful to be able to have people that support me to do crazy things. I just felt so very alive during this trip. I just felt very myself. I'm just very grateful for the whole opportunity and for the people I've met. It's been a gift. This is a funny question. What is the real motivation for your Camino? Because so many people I talk to, and I was like, oh, why are you doing the Camino, blah, 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 blah. And I would tell them, I was like, oh, I'm just taking a break. Just kind of give them a crap answer. But the question was, what was the real motivation? And the real motivation was I didn't want to go straight into a corporate America full-time job that I wasn't truly passionate about, and a retreat and reset on life after working this past summer as a camp counselor. I knew that the summer would be crazy, exhausting in all the ways, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and I was kind of right. So I knew that I just needed to kind of take a break from everything. So it was kind of a reset of okay, what do I want to do in life? What am I truly passionate about? It's not about who I want to please or what check boxes I want to do, but what am I wanting to do with my life? Which is still pending. It was also funny because one of the friends here said, don't be surprised when you get to Santiago that you're going to have your life totally figured out. And that was just super encouraging to hear. I got to Santiago and I still had no idea. I just wanted to keep walking because that was what I knew and that was what was comfortable. But I'm still pending. The real reason was to just take a break from life, and to slow down and to care for my mental health. Is it worth it? It is. You just meet so many people along the way, and it's, hold up. I said it's not easy, but it's not impossible. It's a safe space to be out of your comfort zone and to be challenged. Ooh. I was at Mass last night, and the priest was saying, you need to learn to die to yourself. I was like, oh my gosh, that's literally the whole Camino. So many times I'm so uncomfortable, I'm so hot, I'm so tired, I'm so sweaty, I'm so blah, 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 blah. And I was just there was just so many times where I'm I know my body can do this, totally. But mentally I was I'm just tired, I don't want to walk. It's literally the same thing. And I'm just I could literally drive there and be there in 10 minutes. But it is such a good challenge. For people just to also I just learned a lot also that there's so much more than my bubble of right now Wisconsin, of America. it opens your eyes up to so much. It helped me see the bigger picture of life and just cultures in general and the way people are and personalities, and it really just opened up, that sounds weird, opened up my mind, but it just allowed me to see the bigger picture of life, and to be able to see that it's not just me, that there's just so much more to life. It was uncomfortable for me at times, but I truly believe that every time I'm uncomfortable, it just helps me grow. So I would say, if you're ready for a challenge, do the Camino. It was a really epic experience, and I would highly suggest that you do it. And if you have any questions, let me know. Or if you have any job opportunities in the wilderness, let me know. All right, I think that's it. Oh. Okay, I think I'm done for now. Hasta luego, buen camino.